Welcome back to Yankee Stadium, everyone, and we have a final score in the American League up at the Metrodome. The Toronto Blue Jays have now beaten the Minnesota Twins by a score of 5-1. That's 7 straight wins for the Blue Jays, and it makes it a 3.5 game lead now on the New York Yankees, 4.5 on the Baltimore Orioles, and even more pressure than ever on left-hander Jimmy Key. Here's the lineup Jimmy Key will look at. Butch Hobson will put this lineup on the field. Leading off and playing second base is Scott Fletcher. Mike Greenwell batting second in left field. Third baseman Tim Naring bats third. The cleanup hitter is first baseman Mo Vaughn. Rob Deere is the designated hitter. Carlos Quintana is in right field and hitting sixth. Shortstop John Valentin is seventh. Bob Zupsik playing center field and batting eighth. And the catcher is Tony Pena. He will catch right-hander Nate Minchie.
And the Yankees in the field will have Deion James playing left field. Bernie Williams, the center fielder. Great all-around ball player in right. Paul O'Neill with an accurate throwing arm. On the infield, Wade Boggs at third and Randy Velarde at short. They should get a lot of action with the sinker balling Jimmy Key. Then over at second base, Mike Gallego. And the Gold Glover Don Mattingly, the Yankee captain at first. And behind the plate, Matt Noakes caught Jim Abbott's no-hitter a short time ago, and he'll catch Jimmy Key. 17 wins. That's his tie for his career high. Got that with the Blue Jays back in 1987. And look through the raindrops there for a lot of sinking fastballs on the outside edge and a lot of ground balls. Very impressive numbers.
Buck Showalter's batting order to face Nate Minchie of the Boston Red Sox. Wade Boggs leading off and playing third base. Deion James hitting second out in left field. The captain, Don Mattingly, over at first base batting third. The designated hitter, Danny Tartabull. Hitting fifth and playing right field is Paul O'Neill. Behind the plate this afternoon, Matt Noakes. Bernie Williams is in center field hitting seventh. Mike Gallego, the second baseman today. And hitting ninth is shortstop Randy Velarde.
And the Red Sox take the field with veteran Mike Greenwell in left field. Bob Zupsik will be the center fielder, and Carlos Quintana over in right. Around the infield, Tim Naring, who has been used as the designated hitter most of the time. John Valentin is the shortstop. Scotty Fletcher could be the MVP on this ball club. He's at second, and Mo Vaughn, who would be the other candidate for that same award, at first. Veteran Tony Pena behind the plate, and right-hander Nate Minchie. Minchie is 6'7", and you think, oh, he's a hard thrower. Now, he's got a good sinking fastball, a lot of movement on the ball, throws a splitter. And believe this, at 6'7", only one stolen base all year in the minor leagues, and he can't wait to throw the ball. You're going to see a guy that works quickly. The Yankees don't use speed anyway, but if they do get on, very difficult to steal against.
You see them cleaning up around the mound. This is what happened between innings. Go out there and keep it as dry as possible.
Go through a lot of kitty litter on a day like today. A little diamond dust out there to try to dry things out.
And we're doing the same thing around the home plate area right now. You're looking at plate umpire Drew Coble. Butch Hobson says Nate Minchie, you look at him out there, he's all arms and legs coming at you at 6'7".
Saw that brief conversation with home plate umpire Drew Coble and the groundskeeper. And that's what the umpires would like to get, an advanced weather report. If things seem that they're going to get better, they'll allow play to go along. If they think it'll deteriorate, that will cause them to call the game a little faster, cover it up, try to keep the field as playable as possible.
Weather report earlier this morning was for light rainfall up until about 2 o'clock Eastern time this afternoon. Then it was going to taper off.
We got to reset our watches then, I guess.
Well, it's such an exact science. Here's Wade Boggs, long-time Boston Red Sox third baseman, who has certainly hit big with the New York Yankee fans this season. He steps in hitless in his last 11 at-bats, hitting .305 with a couple of home runs and 54 runs batted in. Minchie, first pitch, outside, ball one. That's Clete Boyer, coaching at third for the Yankees, and over at first, one of the most fun-loving, gentlest giants around.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness he's gentle.
Many a third baseman shaking in his boots when Frank Howard got an inside pitch to pull. 2-0 pitch. And Minchie misses with his first 3.
Beat Cleveland in his first start. Complete game effort. He's going to find with some of these Yankee hitters a lot more discipline.
3 balls and a strike now to Wade Boggs.
Credit to Boggs. You mentioned become a favorite here in New York. It's a real credit to a veteran hitter like that who is accustomed to playing in a ballpark in Boston with the short left field fence. Here the fence is short and right. Tendency would be to try to pull the ball, but Wade hasn't tried to do that. Continued to go the other way, and the average stays above 300.
Boggs fouls it off to the left, and the count is full now at 3-2. 2,038 base hits. No one in baseball has more hits over the last 11 seasons than Wade Boggs. One might think it was umbrella day here at Yankee Stadium. 3-2 pitch towards short. Valentin out number 1.
Looks like Drew Coble, the home plate umpire, has seen enough, even watching that ball bounce out to shortstop. He didn't like the condition of the field, and he's called for it to be covered.
So the Yankee Stadium ground crew will work on getting the tarp out, as the old tapering off has not yet begun to happen here at Yankee Stadium. Mo Vaughn with a 2-run homer in the top of the first inning has the Red Sox on top, and a lead for Nate Minchie against Jimmy Key and the Yankees. But we are looking at a rain delay right here. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Major League Baseball and on CBS in Atlanta against the New York Mets, Sean McDonough and Tim McCarver. Welcome back to Yankee Stadium, where 1 hour and 4 minutes ago the heavy rain chased the players off the field, and that happened with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Tim Naehring had singled with 2 out off of starter Jimmy Key, and that was followed, well, there's Naehring's base hit between short and third, and then that was followed by Mo Vaughn.
That was almost as big a play as Vaughn's home run. You see Key get the fastball out over the plate, but again, a sinker baller like Key really needs some good coverage on the left side of the diamond from his infielders.
And that was the scoring in the top of the first inning. Wade Boggs grounded out to short to start the bottom of the first, and now Deion James is the hitter and grounds this one toward the right side. Scott Fletcher on to first for out number 2 here in the bottom of the first inning. Greg Gumbel, Jim Kaat, and we're glad to have you back with us here at Yankee Stadium, where it rained never heavily, but heavy enough to halt the action. And here's Don Mattingly.
Field in great shape, as so many of the fields nowadays with outstanding drainage systems. The dugouts might have some water in them, but the playing field looks very, very playable. Use the diamond dust to help dry it out.
Here's Don Mattingly. Outside, ball 1. Nate Minchie is the Boston pitcher. The Red Sox have Mike Greenwell in left, Bob Zupsick in center, Carlos Quintana in right. Naehring, Valentin, Fletcher, and Mo Vaughn third to first, and a called strike to Mattingly. Minchie on the mound, and Tony Pena behind the plate. This one hitting the left field. Here comes Greenwell. He's there and makes the catch. And over the course of an hour or so, the Yankees go in order. 2-0 Boston after 1. Just as we were getting set to resume, Steve Lyons of the Red Sox was loosening up with a couple of the kids down the left field line. You know, that's a calculated risk because you may not get that baseball back.
Probably gave it to him anyway.
First pitch liner caught by Don Mattingly off the bat of Carlos Quintana for out number 1. Quintana hit that one on the nose, but there is probably the best glove at first base in the American League.
And Carlos Quintana, as well as Tony Pena at the bottom of the lineup, will be the toughest hitters for Jimmy Key. You see the way he went the other way? They tend to wait on that sinker ball a lot better than some of the right-hand hitters who tend to try to pull it.
Here's John Valentin. Ball outside, ball 1. Don Mattingly owns 7 gold gloves at that first base position. That more than any other New York Yankee in history. Valentin, 8 home runs, 53 runs batted in. Jimmy Key went out to the bullpen to warm up. And what does a rain delay do to a pitcher? Obviously, it affects different pitchers in different ways, Jim.
There is absolutely no one or nothing that can determine what happens to a pitcher. You can talk to pitching coaches, pitchers. Sometimes you can have an hour delay and you go out there and your stuff is better. Other times you go out there and you wind up in nothing. And they'll monitor Jimmy Key, especially on the curveball. Wow. Oh, that is a strike. I was going to say he threw a couple borderliners there, but the first curveball he threw kind of hung, and that's what Tony Cloninger, the pitching coach, will watch what his rhythm and his motion is like.
3-1 pitch, chopped foul. You can
see Nate Minchie, 6'7", real gangly. He hadn't thrown that many pitches. You go out there, he's nice and loose. Sometimes if you've pitched 4 or 5 innings and then you delay, then the arm tightens up a lot more and you're not apt to come out and be as sharp. But I wouldn't think this delay would affect either one.
Full count pitch to Valentin. Got him swinging. 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Jimmy Key.
Certainly didn't affect him here. You see how he turns away from the hitter and really hides it, and that's the ideal hitter for Jimmy Key. A hitter that will try to pull that pitch instead of go the other way like Quintana did. And Tony Pena and maybe Bob Zupsik would try to do the same thing.
Zupsik steps in, a .252 hitter with 2 home runs and 21 runs batted in. And that's outside, ball 1. John Valentin, after waving and taking it out on the bat and the helmet.
You want to be a lot of things in Major League Baseball. You never want to be a bat rack or a batting helmet. Too much punishment.
Jimmy Key, incidentally, last started on Monday in Milwaukee, and there was an 88-minute rain delay before he threw his first pitch. Then after the 6th inning, 62-minute rain delay, and he didn't come back after that rain delay.
You can see there again was the curveball, and he reacted to it in a way that the feel is just not there. Of course, that's not his #1 pitch, but it's a pitch he needs to have to be effective.
That one looked better. 2-2. And the count now full to Zupsik at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fouled away. Yankees have Deion James in left, Bernie Williams in center, Paul O'Neill in right. Wade Boggs, Randy Velarde, Mike Gallego, Don Mattingly 3rd to 1st. Matt Noakes behind the plate for Key. 3-2 pitch. This one hit deep to left field. Way back. Back goes James, and it's off the wall. Zupsik makes the turn at second. Going to go for 3. The throw, not in time. 3-base hit for Zupsik. Zupsik's 2nd triple of the year.
Very similar to the at-bat by Mo Vaughn. Zupsik fouled off a real tough 3-2 pitch, and then that one is just over the plate a little bit more. Nice effort here by Deion James, and Zupsik misses a home run by about a yard. Good speed and gets into 3rd easily.
So 2 down and a runner at 3rd, and here is Tony Pena. There's a breaking ball for a strike. Tony Pena struggling this year. 174 with 3 home runs and 16 runs batted in. That misses outside, 1-1.
Those are numbers that Jimmy Key will throw right out the window. You can see those first 2 pitches real slow. Because Pena is a guy that waits so well that you have to throw it slower than you normally do.
Fastball, 1-2. Tony has always been one of the outstanding defensive catchers. 4 gold gloves. Here's the 1-2 to Pena. Curveball stays outside. It's 2-2. It's hard to explain, too, isn't it? If a pitcher goes out there and he doesn't have that curve, it's not mechanics. He just
it's not the same rhythm.
And now the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Even the early 3-2 counts are an indication that Jimmy Key is not as sharp as he was in previous starts, and the fact that a couple balls have been up, home run and a triple.
He's had 5 full counts today. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Pena. Curveball, strike 3 called. 4th strikeout of the game for Jimmy Key. It's 2-0 Boston, and we'll return to Yankee Stadium after this word from your local station. Back at Yankee Stadium for the last of the 3rd inning, the Red Sox leading the Yankees by a score of 3-0, and Jimmy Key 2 more strikeouts, but real upset with himself for a bases-loaded walk in the top of the 3rd.
Pennant race time, and that's not like him.
Meanwhile, Nate Minchie is not allowed a hit as we go to the last of the 3rd, and Bernie Williams, and a called strike. Bernie Williams started 66 games as the leadoff man for the Yankees. The next 60 in the number 6 slot. This is the first time he's hit 7th in the order. Popped this one foul off the 3rd base side, not a play.
Red Sox have to be thrilled with the acquisition of Nate Minchie. Everyone say, who is this guy? Drafted by the Expos, he was involved in a trade for Zane Smith down to the Braves a few years ago. Then when the Red Sox traded Jeff Reardon to Atlanta, again it was Minchie involved in the trade. Well, he was an original product of the Montreal Expos system, but he could fit in very nicely behind Roger Clemens and Aaron Seeley, who was probably the best pitching prospect in the American League this year.
That's outside 1-2. It was the selection that the Red Sox got when the Cubs signed Andre Dawson. And he was the 37th player selected overall. It's pretty high up. A ball and 2 strikes to Bernie Williams. That misses. It's 2-2. Here's a young man, you know, they talk about things to work on in the offseason. If they could teach Bernie Williams with his speed how to read pitchers and steal bases, they'd have something. There's a base hit to right field. Because the New York Yankees have been absolutely horrendous in the stolen base department this year. Coming up tomorrow, Washington against the Eagles, the Rams and the Giants, Detroit and New Orleans. And at 4 o'clock, the Falcons and the 49ers. And it all gets underway with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern Time. It is not a doubleheader. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
Not something the Yankees do a lot of. Last in the league. They do it with a long ball.
Here's Mike Gallego, another of those very versatile ball players. Minchie misses with that one, ball 1. Everyone immediately thinks, well, if you have speed, you can steal bases, and that's not the case. And Bernie Williams has been very frustrated in that area.
I'd get Lou Brock's phone number. Spend a little time with him.
What's Maury Wills doing these days?
Exactly. Those are the guys you can learn from. Not that the Yankees don't have good coaches, but if you have an opportunity to get that kind of knowledge.
2-0 now to Gallego. The Yankees do quite well in the number of offensive categories except stolen bases.
Doubly tough against Nate Minchie. He delivers the ball to home plate less than 1.1 seconds. Very difficult to steal on. You need a guy about 1.45 to steal regularly.
That's a called strike. And Tony Pena behind the plate throws out about 39% of the runners.
We mentioned in the open that Minchie in the minor leagues this year allowed only 1 stolen base. Pretty impressive.
2 balls and a strike to Mike Gallego. Pop foul out of play. 2-2.
You could see the advantage again of Minchie's motion. At 6'7", he sits back on that back leg. And because he unloads the ball so quickly, you see how Gallego was late on the fastball. Even though he doesn't throw that hard, the ball gets on you a little quicker. Hitter would prefer someone with a little slower motion that he can time easily.
Two pitch. Ball 3. Gallego started this season on the bench for the Yankees, but has been a starter in 71 of the last 74 games, and Buck Showalter will use him at second base as he has today, and at shortstop, and at third. See what Bernie Williams does at first base on this pitch. Gallego pretty good with the bat. I imagine Bernie Williams may take off. He goes towards second. The flip. Out at second, out at first. And Bernie Williams can't believe it. Nice play indeed by Scott Fletcher to Valentin.
Boy, that is a key veteran decision by Scott Fletcher. Very tempting for the second baseman to say, no chance for Bernie Williams. I don't want to hang my shortstop out. The crisp underhand throw, and look at the acrobatic off-balance toss by Valentin. Still has plenty on it to get Gallego, but there's the key to the double play. On the run catch, gets the knee out of the way.
And absolutely the right call by John Hirschbeck out there.
Last night, Valentin messed up what should have been an easy double play. That helped the Yankees score a couple of extra runs, but that was picture perfect.
Here's Randy Velarde with the bases empty and 2 out now here in the bottom of the third, and a shot foul past third. Velarde with a 5-game hitting streak going. There's another versatile ball player on this Yankee club. Plays shortstop. He'll also play the outfield. Fouled off, 1-2.
Ideally, Buck Showalter would like to have Pat Kelly at second base, and then Gallego at short. You mentioned Velarde, very versatile, but he's not a player you want every day as your shortstop. Kelly is missing time with a strained hamstring.
Buck Showalter also with Spike Owen. There's a drive to left field. Greenwell back to the warning track, off the wall. Velarde will pull into second with a double. 12th two-base hit of the year by Randy Velarde, and the Yankees with a man at second at the top of the order up.
Greenwell can't believe he missed it. I mean, this ball is hit well. Again, deepest part of the ballpark. Zupsik hit a triple out there earlier, but Mike's got his eye on the ball, plenty of room, just missed it right over the tip of the glove. Would have been a nice play, but on the big league level, it's a play you would expect a left fielder to make most of the time.
So Velarde at second with 2 out, and here's Wade Boggs, who grounded to short in the first inning, close to 2 hours ago. That's a called strike. If you're joining us late and you're wondering why we're just in the last of the third, we had a 1 hour and 7-minute rain delay in the bottom of the first inning. Mo Vaughn, a 2-run homer in the first for Boston. Carlos Quintana, a bases-loaded walk in the third. 3-0 Red Sox.
Can't pick up anything if you're the first base coach with that grip. He's just going to wait and grip it in his glove.
Too high, 1-1. That one looked like the old 5-finger fastball.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that Frank Howard at first base, he'll watch. He'll watch the pitcher Nate Minchie finger that ball around in his hand. If he can see more white on the fastball or the curveball, he'll pass it on to the hitters.
1-1 pitch hit into center field. Zupsik is there, has plenty of room, and the Yankees threaten but don't score. We played 3 at Yankee Stadium. 3-0 Boston. Greg Gumbel, Jim Kaat back at Yankee Stadium, and a few moments ago, Butch Hobson and Drew Coble in more of a friendly chat.
And now they're laughing about things.
Matt Noakes swings on the first offering from Nate Minchie and fouls it off. The roar is for a pretty nice catch by a front row patron. Noakes popped out to second in his only other trip to the plate. That's inside, 1-1.
Not getting the normal playing time he has been because of the great year Mike Stanley is having. Day game after a night game. Buck Showalter giving Stanley the afternoon off.
Up the middle, Valentin had him played perfectly. And that's out number 1.
Well, as the Yankees pull Rob Deere around to the left side, all teams do this with Matt Noakes. That ball almost hits Minchie in the foot. And there's John Valentin. He is a pure Yankee Stadium hitter. Matt Noakes right up on the plate and tries to pull the ball. And the Red Sox are aware of that.
Here's Bernie Williams, who got the first Yankee hit, the first of 3 on the afternoon, back in the 3rd inning. You know, Nate Minchie, his first outing, successful one, and now he shut the Yankees out through 4 1/3. You give this youngster some attention.
The one reason the Yankees want to keep it right at a 3-run game and try to get back into it. The Red Sox are without their ace closer, Jeff Russell. Greg Harris has taken his place, done a good job, but he's not a Jeff Russell. So they're a little more vulnerable late in the game than they were when Jeff was healthy.
Williams hits this one in the air, short center field. Zupsik. 2 out. We're about 2.5 hours after the first pitch. But you take out that 1-hour rain delay, and this game has moved along pretty well.
Hey, these teams have played games this long without the rain delay the last 2 nights. I mean, 9 innings, both of them have gone almost 4 hours. You have Key and Minchie today going about their business.
Gallego with the bases empty and 2 out and takes strike 1. Oakland has gone ahead of the White Sox, as you heard, 3-2, and will be in Comiskey Park 1 week from today. Strike call, 0-2. Really surprised, Jim, that the Yankees haven't done more of that, stepping out on Minchie to disrupt that, what is obviously a pretty good flow for the youngster. Gallego goes down swinging, and Minchie with 5 shutout innings to his credit. It's 3-0 Boston as we go to the 6th. Back at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, where the Yankees have managed just 3 hits off rookie Nate Minchie and trail 3-0. And we go to the last of the 6th inning, and Jimmy Key is finished for the day. 10 strikeouts. He's given up 3 runs on 9 hits today, but that'll do it for him. Meanwhile, the Yankees will send Randy Velarde, Wade Boggs, and Deion James to the mound. Velarde, first pitch, short hop, and it goes right past third baseman Tim Neri. Velarde around first, on his way to second. And the Yankees get their leadoff man on. It'll go as a 2-base hit.
Whoa, John Valentin got one like this. Neri makes the quick decision. That's a kind 2-base hit.
It is.
He made the decision to back up, and once you retreat, the old let the ball play you theory. Most of the time, you're better off being a little aggressive, and Naring paid for that one.
If Naring gets in front of that ball at all, he at least keeps Velarde at first base. Velarde with back-to-back doubles in the top of the order, and Wade Boggs, who's 0 for 2. Ball 1. And the rain has stopped again here at Yankee Stadium. Jimmy Key went 6 innings, struck out 10. That ties a career high for him. Ball 2. Mets with 2 in the top of the ninth, tying Atlanta 2-2.
2 days in a row they've done that. Ball 3.
Wasn't even close. That's the first base on ball given up by Nate Minchey. Let's go to New York.
All right, Greg, down in Atlanta. Here's how it happened. Top of the 9th. Dave Gallagher with an infield single scoring Sed Landrum. Greg McMichael, by the way, blows his 2nd straight save. And the way the Braves have been playing, Atlanta's got him about where they want him, I guess. All tied in the 9th.
All right, Pat. Now Butch Hobson taking the walk out to the mound to have a talk with his young pitcher. Left-hander Scott Taylor has begun throwing in the Boston bullpen.
Might talk a little bit here about what the Yankees would try to do with James at the plate. They're down 3. 2 out, nobody on. Mattingly, a left-hander coming up. Scott Taylor getting ready for him. This is the kind of game that if you're a Yankee position player, you say Jimmy Key has inspired this team today, if nothing else. He gave up 3 runs, but pitched out of so many jams that you're sitting on the bench and say, hey, the guy's giving us a chance to win. And then you get a break like they did in the bottom of this inning. That's the kind of thing that a team can feed off from. The Yankees have done it all year.
Just the question here is, would Buck Showalter be playing for 1 or 2 runs, or would he be playing for a big inning?
This team usually plays for the big inning, and I think that's what Butch Hobson wanted to put that thought in Nate Minchey's mind.
No sign of a bunt there, and Deion James takes strike 1. Only the 63rd pitch of the day by Nate Minchey.
Great control in his 2 big league starts.
That's a called strike 2, and Deion James didn't like that a bit.
Got a lot of movement on the pitch. Pena's set up inside, but you see that ball tail back right over the edge.
That's a good pitch. And Minchey now ahead of the hitter, 0-2. Pulls this one up the first base line. Foul. One done very well with his runners in scoring position. The runners you see there, Randy Velarde out at second, Wade Boggs at first. 3-0 Red Sox. Yankees with 2 on and nobody out here in the last of the 6th. And James asks for time and gets it. Deion James has been hitting .377 since the All-Star break. Pulls this one foul and just over the Yankee dugout.
Well, that in self-defense. Minchey wanted to get it in and way in. been veterans like Deion James that were not regular players with any other teams. Journeyman would be the title most of them would be given that have meant a lot to this Yankee ball club.
0-2 pitch to James. Reaches, pops it foul, and this one will make the seats behind the Boston dugout.
See, after they came way inside on James, then they tried to get him to reach. Again, he gets just enough of the ball to stay alive.
And now if you're Deion, you're wondering if he's going to come back inside or will he stay outside, and that little moment's hesitation might be just enough to down you.
That's the object of it.
See what's on the minds of Nate Minchie and Tony Pena. No balls, 2 strikes. Inside, down and in, 1-2. Boston skipper Butch Hobson. High in the air down the right field line. Quintana has a play on it. Runners are tagging. Boggs will stay. Velarde will move on to third.
That's a ball the Red Sox are very happy to have back in play. Dangerous pitch in Yankee Stadium to a left-hand hitter. And James thinks he might have got enough of it, but Quintana's there. And now this crowd looking for that kind of swing with the guy in the batter's box. He has been their leader, and he's the one they want in these situations swinging the bat.
Mattingly productive with people in scoring position. Fly to left to end the first. Grounded to short in the fourth. Ball 1. Mattingly has hit into 18 double plays this season. That is the 4th highest in the American League.
There's what you were talking about earlier. Minchie worked so quickly, Mattingly wasn't set, and he had to step out to call time, regroup.
That misses the outside corner, and it's 2-0. On deck is Danny Tartabull.
See that deep breath? Now, you saw the Deion James at bat. If you're Don Mattingly, even with Tartabull in the on-deck circle, you say something middle of the plate in I'm ready for. Otherwise, I'm not going to chase it.
Down low.
And I would think he has that option right here. He's a veteran. Buck Showalter will say, hey, Donnie, if it's middle of the plate in where you like it, wail at it. If not, you got a pretty good man in the on-deck circle.
Didn't even glance down to Clete Boyer at third. Three and one.
Same frame of mind right here. Minchie throws it outside. You mentioned the 18 double plays. That's how you get double plays from left-hand hitters. You get them to chase the outside pitch and try to pull it.
Liner caught by Valentin. And the runners hold. Mattingly did not get good wood on it.
No, awfully good pitcher's pitch by Minchie, but not the kind of pitch that Mattingly wanted to go after with 3-1. Again, that's a case of a pitcher you've never seen. Right there, that ball looked like it was about thigh high. Down he started his swing, ended up down around the shins. Low soft liner to short.
So Nate Minchie is close to working his way out of this jam. Velarde led with the double. With Boggs walked. James with a fly ball to right. Mattingly the liner to short. And here's Tartabull, 1 out of 2. A double and a strikeout. 0-1.
Low ball hitter, but not that low. Danny Tartabull.
Laid off of that one, and its count is even now at a ball and a strike. Tartabull with tremendous power to right and right center field. That's called strike 1-2. Rob Deere has had a tough day. Danny Tartabull struck out his first trip to the plate. It was the 140th time. He is second in the league in the strikeout department. 1-2 pitch. Stayed off of it. 2-2. This young right-hander makes some pretty good pitches, Jim.
Good curveball. He hung that one, got by with it. Tartabull didn't offer.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners at the corners for the Yankees. Swing and a miss. 3-0 Red Sox after 6. We'll be back after this word from your local stadium. Welcome back to the stadium. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Red Sox lead score 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors for Boston. No runs and an error for the New York Yankees. The White Sox, leaders of the American League West, trailing Oakland 3-2 out in Oakland. And in the AL West, White Sox holding a 4.5 game lead on Texas, 7.5 on Kansas City.
Yeah, you keep playing hard until they put that little X in front of your name, eliminated, but realistically it's Texas and Chicago in that division. And Texas finishes the season with Kansas City. Be a good duel tonight. The Rangers play out at Anaheim. Low-scoring game last night. California won it 2-1. Kevin Brown for the Rangers and Mark Langston for the Angels. Another good pitching matchup.
The Yankee loss would give the Blue Jays a 4-game lead and their biggest lead of the season. Here's Paul O'Neill. O'Neill notes Williams to face Minchie. And a big curveball to start him off for strike 1.
Well, he has been impressive. That nice, I love the leg kick and the hip turn.
I go back to what you said at the beginning of our broadcast, Jim, that sometimes hitters would rather face someone they know and what they expect as opposed to an unknown, a relative unknown like Nate Minchie. Fouled off 1-2.
I will assure you that at-bat that Don Mattingly had when the count went to 3-0, if he's hitting against a pitcher that he knows, he has a better swing than he did at the 3-1 pitch from Nate Minchie. That's why sometimes rookies in September can be tough.
Count even now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mets have grabbed the lead on Atlanta, 3-2 in the top of the 10th inning. Putting smiles on the faces of the San Francisco Giants for the moment.
Well, and I'm sure the battle inside the Atlanta clubhouse right now would be one psychological battle with manager Bobby Cox, Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach, and Greg McMichael. That's 2 days in a row. He's done a perfect job up until then to make sure they restore his confidence.
O'Neill pulls this one down the right field line. Does it have enough? It does. Home run. Number 19 of the year for O'Neill. That breaks the shutout. Yankees are on the board. It's 3-1 Boston.
That's why you like a lot of left-hand hitters in the lineup in Yankee Stadium. I mean, that curveball was out away. You see O'Neill reach for it. But it's only 314 down there. You get enough barrel on it, and it's a short home run.
And Rich Gale out to have a brief talk and probably tell him to just forget about it and shake it off.
Second start in the big leagues, and especially in front of this crowd in a pennant race situation. That's what the visit by Rich Gale was about. But he has shown so much poise today, even in the inning when the Yankees threatened. It didn't scare him out of the strike zone at all.
So O'Neill gets the Yankee half of the 7th started in a big way. Home run number 19 of the year. There's Scott Cooper now playing third base for Boston. He's replaced Tim Naring. And here is Matt Noakes. Swinging on the first pitch and fouling out of play, 0-1.
Ken Ryan, hard-throwing right-hander.
There's a base hit into right field for Noakes. The one thing these Yankees have shown their fans all season long is they don't give up. They've got a lot of heart.
They've got character. Matt Noakes right on the plate, and that's why even the pitch is outside, he can pull the ball. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, it was a club spokesman or owner or something questioned the character of this ball club. If they had as much pitching depth as they had character, they'd be in first place. This team behind Buck Showalter has shown a lot of that.
As far as that Mets-Atlanta game goes, let's check in with Pat O'Brien. Pat?
All right, fellas, let's show you the action down in Atlanta. Tito Navarro against Steve Bedrosian just in the game. Navarro scores Darren Jackson. The Mets up 3-2. Little Mets magic. They had 2 runs with 2 outs in the 9th, and the go-ahead run with 2 outs in the 10th. San Francisco won today, by the way. 3-2 is your score. Back to Greg.
All right, Pat. Magic is not a word that has been associated with New York Mets baseball this year, and now here comes Butch Hobson, and he wants a new pitcher. So that'll do it for Nate Minchie here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-1, Yankees trailing, and we'll be back after this word from your local station.
Very hard, and the Red Sox thought because of the bad spring that Jeff Russell had that he might be their closer. But Russell came back to have a strong year. Ryan has been a little inconsistent. So in this role, he's trying to get the game to Greg Harris, give him 5 or 6 outs.
Nate Minchie allowed a run on 6 hits, struck out 3, walked 1 through 87 pitches. Paul O'Neill led off with a home run here in the bottom of the 7th, his 19th of the year. Noakes followed with a base hit.
Of course, it becomes a battle of the benches and the bullpens right now after the good job by Minchie. And with Tony Fawcett warming up, remember Mike Stanley did not start today. He's on the bench. He'll be ready.
A lot of left-handed bats in that Yankee lineup right now with Boggs and Deion James and Mattingly and O'Neill and Noakes. Bernie Williams, a switch hitter, swinging from the left side. And a fastball strike. Williams singled in the 3rd, fly to center in the 5th. Yankees had a single and a double back in the 3rd inning. Didn't score. A double play ball helped the Red Sox there. A double by Tartabull in the 4th was wasted. A double and a walk in the 6th with nobody out. That's a ball. It's 1-1.
Buck Showalter had a couple of words with Bernie at the dugout before he stepped in. And with Mo Vaughn playing a little behind Matt Noakes, with Williams' speed, if he decides to drag one, he's got a sure base hit. Drags it down between the pitcher and Mo Vaughn.
Cooper on the infield grass at 3rd. That's a call. Strike 1 and 2. And now Ken Ryan throwing stuff that the Yankees haven't seen all day long because he's quite a change from Nate Minchie.
A little determination in those eyes. Even though the Red Sox are far back in the divisional race.
Woo. Just off the outside corner. San Francisco Giants gain a game on the Atlanta Braves, who fall to the Mets in 10 innings, 3-2.
Set going back maybe 6 weeks since the Giants had gained a game on the Braves.
2-2 pitch to Bernie Williams. Got him swinging.
Well, instead of the movement that you saw from Nate Minchie, this is just in the dugout. They'd call it dead red, cheese at the knees. I mean, that's just a good old four-seam 90-mile-an-hour plus fastball from Ken Ryan.
1 out now, and Noakes at first, and here's Mike Gallego.
That's a nice game.
With the Atlanta loss and the Giant win today, the Giants are 3 games back in the National League West. September is going to be a pretty good month for baseball.
Works out nicely that most of the teams in contention are going to play one another. The Blue Jays finish with Baltimore. We mentioned the Texas-Chicago series, Yankees-Toronto. Braves and the Phillies go at it next weekend.
Gallego hits this one to left. Greenwell back to the warning track and makes the catch. And Noakes retreats to first base. Nate Minchie likes it from the dugout, and Greenwell played that one a lot better than the earlier one that went over his head.
Yankees coming up a couple of feet short in this series. Mike Stanley had a similar at bat in Thursday night's game, which would have been a grand slam. That was to right center, and Greenwell needs all of that 390 feet in left center field to haul that one in.
Nate Minchie says all's well that ends well. Here's Randy Velarde, who's 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles. In fact, it was Randy Velarde who pumped one over Greenwell's head to the wall back in the third. That's called strike, 1-1. Randy Velarde, an even up 500 hitter for the month of September so far. You mentioned the Yankees a couple of feet short. How about Deion James's fly ball down the right field line back in the 6th inning with 2 on. 1-2 now to Velarde. O'Neill homered to lead off the 7th. Noakes single. Ryan came on to strike out Williams and get Gallego on a deep fly to left. 1-2 pitch. Off speed, got him looking, and that does it for the Yankees here in the 7th. Terrific job by Ken Ryan, and after 7, the Red Sox lead it 3-1. Here's a great pitch by Ken Ryan to end the 7th inning.
Well, you can imagine after all the 90-mile-an-hour heaters, and he really gets by. That's not a pitcher's pitch. You try to throw that ball on the outside corner, but Ryan got by with it in a good spot. And his former teammate at Pawtucket, Nate Minchie, appreciates it. This is Ryan's 3rd go-around with the Red Sox this year, but he and Nate Minchie were teammates down at Pawtucket for much of the year.
While we have a moment, let's remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. Greg Gumbel, Jim Kaat as we move to the top of the 8th inning. The Red Sox will send John Valentin, Bob Zupsik, and Tony Pena to the mound against Bobby Munoz. That one's inside, ball 1 as Munoz begins his 2nd full inning. This one hit in the air, left center field. Bernie Williams with plenty of room and pulls it in. One of those guys, Jim, who just glides, doesn't he?
A little bit like not quite as smooth as Devon White. Nobody does it like Devon White, but Williams does glide out there. A little action in the Yankee pen. Paul Ossenmacher picked up earlier in the year. Buck Showalter looking down that Red Sox lineup card, getting him ready for some left-hand hitters.
Here's Zupsik, stands in at 1 for 3 on the day. Breaking ball is in there for strike 1. Surprising, the Boston Red Sox team that's last in home runs. You think about that green monster in Fenway, and you think that one's a comebacker to Munoz for the easy 1-3 out.
This is quite a contrast for the Red Sox teams for all those years, going back to Williams and Yastrzemski and Freddie Lynn, Jim Rice, all those thumpers. But this will be the 4th year in a row that the Red Sox have had better pitching than hitting. That was never the case in Boston, but it has been now lately with Clemens, who is having an off year, but now Aaron Seeley coming along, and a good performance by Nate Minchie today.
And what it tells you is that green monster is never a given.
No. Got to have some good left-hand hitters to take advantage of that green monster. Mo Vaughn has done it this year.
The ERA is the best in the American League. And that, despite a not-so-typical year from Roger Clemens.
Tony Pena, his catcher, much of the discussion has centered around those two working together and what the problem might be.
Misses the outside corner, and it's 3-0.
What happens when you begin to get knocked around a little, even if you're Roger Clemens, you don't trust your stuff quite as much. And instead of getting ahead of hitters 0-2, you start falling behind 2-0. It said Tony Pena sitting on the corners of the plate. Clemens trying to be so fine. He hasn't gotten ahead of hitters like he did in past years. And no matter how hard you throw, big leaguers will catch up with it.
Pena with a shot to center field. Williams on his horse on the run. Made the catch. What a catch by Bernie Williams. Maybe he doesn't glide like Devon White, but he gets there. Outstanding running catch by Bernie Williams to end the 8th inning.
Toughest ball for a center fielder to track because it is right over his head. No chance to look at the wall. Just keep running, catch it, and hope you can brace yourself. That's a great play, and by the time this game's over, could be a very significant one.
We'll go to the last of the 8th. 3-1 Boston. We'll be back after this word from your local station.
Last year, the girls pulled the ultimate prank. Monday, the guys get even.
I am locked out dressed like a casino.
The season premiere of Evening Shade, Monday.
My linguine is starting to chafe.
Tonight on CBS starts off with Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, followed by Stacy Keach and Burgess Meredith, guest starring in a special 2-hour episode of In the Heat of the Night. That is coming up tonight here on CBS. Here we go to the last of the 8th inning. Yankees trailing by 2. Off of an outstanding defensive play to end the top of the 8th inning by Bernie Williams.
Looking at the bench, and that's probably what will decide this game, the bullpens and the bench. Mike Stanley still sitting there, and that's why Butch Hobson has to be very careful when he brings Tony Fossas into the ball game. He'll keep Fossas, the left-hander, ready for some of the left-handed Yankee hitters.
There's Tony Fossas throwing in the Red Sox bullpen. Buck Showalter will have the top of his order, but he's gotten nothing from the top of the order today. Wade Boggs, Deion James, Don Mattingly, 0 for 8. Boggs, the only man to have reached with a base on balls. Looks at ball 1. Boggs hitting .304 with 2 home runs and 54 runs batted in. Outside, 2-1. And that'll get the crowd going. Ken Ryan, we're told, throwing in the 94, 95 mile-an-hour range as Boggs follows that one down the left field line.
That swing would give evidence to that. Boggs with a 3-1 count, well behind that fastball. And Ryan, like Minchie, doesn't take long to deliver it. He's ready to throw.
Full count pitch to Boggs.
All right, there you go. Right down the pipe.
More than one player on this team give an awful lot of credit to Wade Boggs. He's really helped them be comfortable at the plate, what to look for, how to relax. Ball 4.
Good at bat there. Ryan knew he missed, and that's why Boggs is such a tough hitter. Fouled off a couple of pitchers' pitches, and then has the good peepers to just lay off that pitch. See it move off the outside edge.
Here's Deion James. James lifted one down the right field line in his last at bat that came up about 10 feet short of a 3-run homer. Take strike 1.
Still kind of surprised with the wet turf in the infield. Pitchers, infielders can't get good footing. That with a little bit of speed, you could drop down a bunt right here if you're Deion James.
It's a called strike, and it's 0-2. Mattingly on deck. There's Don. Vaughn to second for 1. The relay doesn't get James, but they get the lead runner.
Nice play by Mo Vaughn. Make sure he takes his time and gives Valentin a toss on the glove side of the bag. Not much chance to retire. James, little decision right here for Butch Hobson. Tony Foss, one of the best in the American League at getting a left-hand hitter out. You know they're not going to pinch hit for Don Mattingly, so this is the perfect spot for Foss.
And Butch takes the walk to the mound. Hasn't made the call yet. And now he does. So Tony Foss it is. Yes, you, Tony. You're the one who gets to face Don Mattingly. We'll be back to tell you about Tony Foss in just a moment.
Yes, if you're left-handed and you can throw a breaking ball over the plate, there is room for you in Major League Baseball. And Tony Foss is living proof. That ERA is high, but left-handers are hitting 136 against him. Only 8 hits all year. Again, with that little bit of an unusual delivery, 3-quarter, keeps the breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, and that's what he'll try to do here against Don Mattingly.
Mattingly, a fly out, a ground out, and a soft liner to short.
Where's Donnie? What's going through Donnie's mind right here is he knows that about Fossa, so he said, why try to pull the guy? You might see him try to take a pop out to left field, even though the tendency is to want to try to pull it.
I think this year I've seen more major league hitters trying to take the ball the other way than ever before.
It's an old expression that the hitting coaches are beginning to use. Stay inside the ball and take it the other way. That's why.
Deion James on at first with the fielder's choice. Buck Showalter thinking ahead a couple of hitters, as is Butch Hobson. Strike one to Mattingly. Mattingly would be followed by Danny Tartabull. What Fossas would love is a double play grounder right here. There goes the runner. Mattingly in the air, down the right field line, foul, and into the seats. And now Mattingly down in the count at 0-2.
See Pena set up, and again Fossas didn't get it out there far enough. He got by with a mistake. I don't think you'll see anything that close to Mattingly on 0-2 unless they knock him off the plate. They got a couple of pitches to play with here to make him chase it.
You saw there the A's a winner over the Chicago White Sox. 0-2 pitch to Mattingly. 1-2.
Come on, boss, come at him.
Bluffs James back to first.
He got the throw over to first base sign from Tony Pena, pointed his pinky there, but Mo Vaughn's behind the bag. If you're Tony Fossas, you have to be very careful. That's a balk if you throw it to Vaughn with him playing back that far.
Mattingly held off, and it's 2-2. Mattingly, a tough strikeout, the 6th toughest in the American League. Two balls, 2 strikes. Vaughn now holding James on and gets the throw over there. Danny Tartabull is on deck. He'll hit next. He gets a chance. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Outside, and the count is full. And you'd have to think Deion James will get started with this pitch.
Frank Howard, the first base coach, to all runners, make sure he pitches. Certainly don't want to get picked off in this situation if you're Deion James, any situation for that matter.
He doesn't go. Mattingly pops it up near the first base dugout. Will Vaughn have room? He does. And that's out number 2.
That was the battle, and Fossas won it. Another sweeping breaking ball, and Mattingly tries to pull it. And that'll happen most of the time. Left-hander trying to pull an outside pitch from another left-hander.
And Butch Hobson, I think he's going to let Tony Fossas pitch to Danny Tartabull here. He's going to bring Greg Harris on, and Hobson just gives him a clap on the back and a job well done.
Great way to make a living if you can keep your curveball outside. Just face a couple hitters a week.
Which reminds me, what are you doing up here in the booth next to me? New pitcher coming in. We'll tell you all about it. We'll be back after this word from your local station.
It seems
You're looking at Greg Harris, the new pitcher for the Red Sox, whose role has changed.
Jeff Russell came out of spring training, not pitching particularly well, but has done a great job. 33 saves for the Red Sox, and with him on the disabled list, Greg Harris has been called on instead of being a setup man to be a closer. And not quite as effective as Russell. He is 8 out of 15, has an outstanding curveball. And like Foss's from the left side, he keeps trying to get the right-hand hitters to chase that pitch. He'll do it to Tartabull here.
Tartabull 2 out of 14 in his career against Harris. A double and a home run. And a big swing and a miss, strike one. Tartabull, the tying run at the plate. That misses outside, and it's 1-1.
See, that's not the on-deck circle, but you see how close Paul O'Neill is to the home. He wants to get as close a look as he can at Greg Harris's delivery in case he gets up there. It's almost like being in the batter's box.
O'Neill responsible for the only Yankee run of the night. There's a drive foul down the right field line. And it's 1-2. Toronto beat Minnesota. The Yankees lose here. They fall 4 back of the Blue Jays. Atlanta a loser. San Francisco a winner. The difference is 3 in the National League West. A ball and 2 strikes. And that was close.
That was the kind of pitch that Ryan struck out Velarde on. Harris didn't mean to throw it there. He wanted it outside. Still thought he had a strike with it.
Two pitch. Tapped foul. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You can really see the determination, the tension on the faces of players this time of the year. I first heard it from Joe Torre. The key is to be intense without being tense. Easy to say, hard to do. Saw it on Mattingly's face. See it on Tartabull's.
Harris ready again. Breaking ball. Whew. Just missed inside. Runs the count full at 3-2.
Greg Harris can't argue on that. See, he knows he wants that pitch outside, and that broke around the plate. Tony Pena trying to sell it to Drew Coble. He wasn't buying.
And now James will be off with the pitch at first base. Full count and 2 out here in the last of the 8th. 3-1 Red Sox lead. Lined into right field, base hit. James on his way to third. He will hold there, and the Yankees with runners at the corners and 2 outs for Paul O'Neill.
That's a terrific at-bat by Danny Tartabull. Took a couple of the inside pitches, finally gets a 3-2 pitch up in the zone. It's a terrific at-bat because you get Paul O'Neill to the plate. Red Sox with no left-hander ready in the bullpen. Much better matchup for the Yankees.
It was O'Neill who led off the 7th inning with his 19th home run of the year off starter Nate Minchie, the only run of the game so far for New York. James at third, Tartabull at first. And that's high and away, ball 1. This was O'Neill back in the 7th inning. This is O'Neill in the 8th, and he looks at strike 1.
And that was a similar pitch to the one he hit off Nate Minchie. Righties don't give you too much to pull late in the game in this stadium as a left-hand hitter, so you have to go out and get it.
One pitch misses, 2 balls and a strike. O'Neill, a .347 hitter against right-handed pitching this season.
Right down the plate.
2-1 pitch. Strike 2.
See him back away and keep his cool. It was that kind of pitch that got him ejected in Thursday night's game when he argued with home plate umpire John Hirschbeck. So he quickly turns away and gathers his emotions after that one.
James at third, Tartable at first. 2-2 the count on O'Neill. It's got him swinging. The Boston bullpen does it again. We've played 8 here at Yankee Stadium, and the Red Sox lead it by a score of 3-1. Paul O'Neill and Greg Harris, opposite ends of the emotional spectrum.
And Harris wins the battle.
Greg Harris. Well, not much emotion there. 3-1, Red Sox in the lead. We'll be back for the start of the 9th in a moment. Remind you, 1 o'clock kickoffs on CBS tomorrow. Washington against Philadelphia. The Rams and the Giants. The Lions and the New Orleans Saints. 4 o'clock Eastern time. Some of you will see Atlanta and the San Francisco 49ers, and it all gets underway when Terry Bradshaw and Leslie Visser join me for the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern time here on CBS. Butch Hobson, pretty good job with the pitchers in that last inning or so.
That's the key. You can make yourself look like a real smart manager by making those kind of moves if you have the players that can do it. And in Foss's, he's got a great matchup against lefties. And Harris did a great job there against O'Neill.
Top of the Boston order here in the 9th inning to face Bobby Munoz. Munoz came on in the 7th inning in relief of Jimmy Key and has allowed no runs and 1 hit. Scott Fletcher, Mike Greenwell, Scott Cooper. And Munoz quickly ahead of Fletcher, 0-2.
I think what stands out in this game from Butch Hobson's standpoint, you've met him and you know what an intense guy he is. And the Red Sox are 8 games out. They're realistically out of the pennant race, even though the X isn't in front of their name yet. But yet, he's given the Yankees the kind of battle as if he were in it.
And that includes the last 2 nights, too.
Managers that manage teams that are out of the race will say you owe that to the other teams that are in contention. You don't just go through the motions or throw rookies out there. You play the same kind of baseball as if you were fighting for the pennant. You owe that to Baltimore and the Blue Jays.
Oh, to yourself, too.
Exactly.
One-two pitch. Right back up the middle. Munoz blocked it, lost it. Infield hit for Fletcher. Second base hit off Bobby Munoz, and the 11th of the night for the Red Sox.
Plenty of body to get in the way. Bobby Munoz at 6'8". Can't find it. And with Scotty Fletcher's speed, he gets there easily.
And Buck Showalter out to the mound to relieve Bobby Munoz of any further work today. So Buck Showalter and the Yankees will make a pitching change, and we'll be back after this word from your local station. Along with Jim Kaat, I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome back to Yankee Stadium, where in the top of the 9th inning, Scott Fletcher with a leadoff base hit has a runner on for the Red Sox, nobody out, and we were slowed down a little bit by Mother Nature earlier today. Mo Vaughn got his 2-run homer in before the rains came. Nate Minchie wrapped 6 good innings right around the rain, and Jimmy Key, not his usual performance, but still strong enough to keep the Yankees involved today.
Sure, the sign of a good pitcher. When it wasn't a day that he was exceptionally sharp, he got 10 strikeouts and held the Red Sox to 3 runs. Paul Ossenmacher involved in a 3-way trade. John Habian went to the Chicago Cubs. Stan Belenda to the Kansas City Royals, or I guess Habian to the Pirates rather. And Paul Ossenmacher.
It's a little early for the football to be out.
Ossenmacher's a curveball pitcher. Mike Greenwell, I'm sure, spent some time talking with guys in the Red Sox that have played in the National League, so you know what to expect, and you go up to the plate looking for a pitch in an at-bat like this.
The view from high above left center field here in Yankee Stadium. First pitch to Greenwell, called strike. Greenwell's base hit came back in the 5th inning, or rather the 3rd inning. He has a fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout to go along with it. And he hits this one in the air, short left field. Velarde out, James coming on, and dropped the ball. And they won't get the force at second. Boston with runners at first and second. That will be an error on Dion James.
Miscommunication with Velarde and James, and shortstop again has been such a vulnerable position today. Velarde gets turned around. It's a ball he could easily catch, but now he's in James' way. And somebody's got to call that ball earlier and take charge. No one does.
So Fletcher up to second. Greenwell on at first, and Scott Cooper steps to the plate for the first time in this game. He came in to replace Tim Nearing at third in the 7th inning. Cooper hitting .275, 9 home runs, 62 runs batted in, and his ability allowed him to move in when Wade Boggs moved on to New York.
Wouldn't expect him to bunt with Vaughn in the on-deck circle, but the Yankees look for it.
And a good one. Boggs over to Gallego covering.
Reason I didn't expect they would is now the Yankees, even though it's lefty to lefty matchup, as dangerous a hitter as Mo Vaughn is, they can pitch pretty carefully to him with first base open. But the Red Sox, with their 76th sacrifice bunt of the year, have done this more than any other team, and it's perfectly placed. Only play was to first.
Nicely done by Cooper, and now Tony Cloninger out to the mound to talk with Ossenmacher, and basically, how are we going to approach this guy Mo Vaughn here, guys?
Well, Rob Deere's in the on-deck circle. He has 3 strikeouts, much more prone to the strikeout. And Vaughn, you know what he did off Jimmy Keys. You know he can hit left-hand hitters, so they would even, you could throw that left-right stuff out the window. They might even consider walking him, and they will. Don't blame him. That's why I didn't think Butch Hobson would bunt and take the bat out of his hand.
And we're probably looking at Bob Wickman coming on. Pitch to Rob Deere, Carlos Quintana, John Valentin. Buck Showalter kind of just killing time near the front step of the dugout. And Vaughn is on base. And here comes Buck.
Red Sox have veterans like Ernest Riles on the bench from the left side.
You talk about the managerial wheels turning. We have seen a lot of it so far this evening. We're not done yet. Bob Wickman trotting in from the bullpen. We'll be back right after this. Number 27 is Bob Wickman, who was a starter earlier in the year and has now found a home as a reliever for Buck Showalter.
Several rookie pitchers that Buck Showalter has had to run in that middle relief role, and good numbers in those 36 games. Also worked quite a bit as a starter. More hits than innings pitched. And it looks like Butch Hobson's been walking up and down his bench, but at this stage, Rob Deere's going to get the call. So he does have the luxury of a 2-run lead, so he's not forced to make a move, but he does have veteran Ernest Riles and rookie Greg Blosser swings from the left side.
registered a 3-2 win over the White Sox earlier today.
That was Bobby Witt over Jack McDowell. Bobby Witt has developed into Oakland's best pitcher. That gives the Rangers a chance to get within 3.5 tonight if they beat the Angels behind Kevin Brown.
Next week, Jim and I will be at Comiskey Park in Chicago. So the White Sox take on the Texas Rangers. Or you may see the Atlanta Braves in Philadelphia against the Phillies in what looks to be a preview of the National League Championship Series, although you can't tell.
Sure can't. Phillies fans in 1964 know that.
Here's Rob Deere. Struck out in the first, struck out in the third, struck out in the fifth, and singled in the seventh. He's up with the bases loaded and 1 out here in the 9th inning and looks at ball 1.
There again, the infield alignment. Don Mattingly a long ways from first base, so anything hit that way, his throw is going to be to home. And Wickman will have to hustle to first.
1-0 pitch. In the air, back of third. Will it stay in play? Boggs makes the catch. Big out for Wickman and the Yankees.
Yeah, and there's the sacrifice bunt, the result of it. Instead of having Mo Vaughn swing the bat, you have Rob Deere. So Buck Showalter got the best of that situation. Now veteran Ernest Riles will swing the bat for Carlos Quintana.
So you didn't like the idea of bunting in that situation?
Well, Butch Hobson rather has operated that way all year, but if I'm part of the Red Sox strategy, I like to have Mo Vaughn swinging the bat instead of Rob Deere, and that sacrifice bunt just took it right away from him. But maybe Butch didn't think Buck would walk Vaughn, left-hander versus left-hander, but he'd already hit a home run off Jimmy Key. So yeah, I would have had Scott Cooper swinging the bat, no question.
Ernest Riles now making his 47th appearance as a pinch hitter this season. That's the most in the American League. Bases loaded, 2 out. Ball 1. Scott Fletcher led off with a single off pitcher Bobby Munoz. Ossenmacher came on. Greenwell blooped the fly ball to left that Deion James dropped for an error. Cooper sacrificed the runners to second and third. Mo Vaughn was walked intentionally. Wickman came on to get Deere to foul out. That's a called strike, and it's 1-1. Yankees have James, Williams, and O'Neill left to right. Boggs, Velarde, Gallego, and Mattingly third to first. Wickman pitching to Matt Noakes. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. We have had a little bit of everything in this game.
And I'll tell you, to this point, they've got 1 strike to go. The Yankee bullpen that has faltered much of the year has done a great job today backing up Jimmy Key.
One-two pitch. Down and in, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looking ahead to the Yankee 9th, Matt Noakes, Bernie Williams, Mike Gallego scheduled to face Greg Harris.
A feeling you might see Mike Stanley swing the bat if it stays at 3-1.
Two to Ryle. Hard but foul past first. Giants beat Cincinnati 6-1. Mets beat the Braves 3-2 in 10. The Braves lead in the National League West is 3. 2-2 to count on Ernest Ryle. Got him swinging. We'll go to the 9th. The Yankees needing 2 to tie and 3 to win. We'll be back after this word from your local station. Back at Yankee Stadium for the last of the ninth, Bob Zupsik has moved from center to right to replace Carlos Quintana, for whom Riles pinch hit in the top of the inning. And out in center field is Steve Lyons, one of baseball's true free spirits.
Shows up everywhere. Came up with the Red Sox as a prize third base prospect about a decade ago. Made a few trips around the baseball world, and he's right back home. Baseball speaking, home in Boston.
Matt Noakes, Bernie Williams, Mike Gallego slated to hit here in the ninth inning. Yankees trail 3-1. Noakes with a base hit in the seventh inning. His only hit in 3 trips to the plate. Here we go. 0-1. Valentin, short hop, and the play to first. Here's Bernie Williams.
Doing it in a game, but actually that glove has 2 thumbs on it. Greg Harris is capable of throwing left-handed and right-handed. He has begged Lou Gorman to let him do it in the game. They haven't done it. Of course, in this case, he puts the glove on the other hand. Bernie Williams steps over the other side of the plate. They keep going back and forth.
We could be here all night. That's called strike 1-1. I think we talked about this before. I remember the guy with the Giants, Matsunori Murakami.
Right.
His problem was he could throw with either arm. The problem was he wasn't very good with either arm.
Mediocrity will get you in trouble.
Story of my life. 1-1 pitch. High chopper. Valentin back a second. He'll have to hurry to get Williams, and he does. And a fine defensive play by Mo Vaughn at first as well.
He's been the factor today, Mo Vaughn. 2-run homer. Yankees walked him to keep from facing him again, and a nice defensive pick. That keeps Mike Stanley on the bench.
That number 35 on Mo Vaughn's cap. It's his way of remembering the late Reggie Lewis of the Boston Celtics. Nice gesture for a fine young man who passed on way too soon. Here's Mike Gallego, fouls it at the plate. Strike 1. Gallego stands in at 0 for 3. And is the last hope to keep this game alive for the New York Yankees. That one's high and tight. 1-1. Above the monuments out there, the scoreboard tells the story. The Yankees in danger of falling 4 games back of the Toronto Blue Jays in the American League East with 12 to play. 2-1.
Again, you'll see Gallego show a lot of patience at the plate. He'd like to somehow get on first base, draw a walk, and then that would make Mike Stanley a possibility. Randy Velarde does have home run power.
That one inside, did it hit him? It did hit him. So Gallego is on base, and that would bring the tying run to the plate, and it will be Mike Stanley.
That's why that 4th run was so important. Red Sox trying to get it. Harris runs that fastball too far in, catches Gallego on the elbow. You see it just on that right elbow. Ouch. Like hitting your funny bone when you pound it down on the, bump it on a table or something.
I wondered why that was, because it wasn't very funny at all when you did that.
That ulnar nerve. Boy, this guy has had some kind of year. And I'll assure you he is thinking right now the at-bat on Thursday night when he missed by a very small margin a grand slam home run that would have given the Yankees a win.
As a pinch hitter this year, 2 out of 9. But he will step in hitting .311 with 26 home runs and 80 runs batted in.
Got to go back to Yogi Berra and Bill Dickey, Yankee catchers, to find those kind of hitting numbers. Home runs, batting average.
That's the most home runs by a Yankee catcher since Elston Howard hit 28 back in 1963. Stanley, the tying run as he stands in. Strike one. Like Tartabull, Stanley has home run power to right and right center field. And he hits this one, and this will not count. Timeout is called. That will not count because we have people running out of the stands and onto the field.
Boy. That's a shame. Gives all baseball fans a bad taste right now, and Butch Hobson is beside himself. That was a game-winning out and game-ending out, but before it happened, credit Tim Welke. He called timeout immediately when the wackos ran on the field.
The game is not over.
Tim Welke saying, hey, I'm sorry, I wish they hadn't run out, but he did what he was supposed to do. He called timeout immediately. So it was no pitch from the time Harris got right here. That's no pitch. Tim Welke. Shame. But it happens. 99% of the fans come to a ball game to enjoy it.
And what it does is it gives Mike Stanley another chance with the count no balls and 1 strike.
And right now, Greg Harris, I mean, as soon as that last out goes up, you're a pitcher, you got the last out of the game. It's like another one. And so as soon as Harris delivers that pitch and he thinks it's a game ending out, now he's got to regroup. Buck knows it. See, timeout. Buck knew Welke called timeout, and Harris has to regroup.
So here's the replay. 0-1. And a base hit to left field. Amazing, isn't it?
Well, there's pine tar bat home runs, and there's fans running down the field. There's all kinds of things that happen over 162 games. And Stanley takes advantage of it. Another curveball. This one hits sharper and out of the reach of Valentin. And Showalter will get some speed at first base. Tying run.
Gerald Williams at first. Gallego at second. And here is Wade Boggs. A ground out, a fly out, and 2 bases on balls. That's ball 1. That's called strike 1-1.
I would imagine the Toronto Blue Jays were high-fiving about that time too when the ball went up, and they're stunned a little.
1-1 pitch to Boggs. Ball 2. Suddenly, plenty of interest here at Yankee Stadium. 2-1. Outside corner, 2-2.
Buck Showalter at least like to see the count go to 3-2. He would love to be able to have the runners on the move on a full count. Give Williams a chance to score on a base hit.
2-2 pitch. And Boggs stays alive at the plate. Frank Howard, coach over at first base, as into this game as anybody on the field.
He's doing everything but running the bases himself. Well, if you're a runner right now, as soon as you see the bat start, as soon as you see the hitter swing, you're taking off, because that's strike 3 and the game's over if he misses. So you don't have to wait for contact. You just see the swing.
Gallego at second. Gerald Williams, the tying run at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Wade Boggs. Down the left field line and foul. I'll tell you, Gerald Williams is getting a big jump as soon as Wade Boggs pulls the trigger.
Mo Vaughn a good 30 feet behind him, guarding the line down there, so he could score on a single with his speed.
Wade Boggs has lots of room in right center field. 2-2 the count. Chop between first and second. Diving stop, no play. Gallego will score, and runners at first and second for the Yankees. Scotty Fletcher made the diving stop, and that run by Gallego doesn't make much difference, but it kept Deion James from going to third.
The swing and playing Boggs over toward left center. Fletcher had a long way to go. And as you mentioned, he gets up, loses control of the ball, but Gerald Williams has to stay at second base.
I said Deion James, I meant Gerald Williams, so he is at second now. And the Yankees watching what happens. Gallego comes across.
The Red Sox fans wishing that Yankees security was as tight during the game as it is before the game. You can't get by with anything before the game, but 3 fans snuck out to give the Yankees an extra chance.
Deion James, a career 500 hitter against Greg Harris. Strike 1. James is 4 out of 8 against Harris with a home run to his credit. That diving stop by Fletcher held Williams at second. He can't score from there on a passed ball or a wild pitch. Good stop by Tony Pena, 1-1. Didn't hold up, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
Can you imagine if the Yankees came back to win this and it came back down to the last game of the season? How unbelievable this would be, that a fan charging on the field would affect a divisional race.
Ship those guys up to Toronto as their penalty. Let them take care of it. 1-2 count on Deion James. Gerald Williams at second. He is the tying run. Harris took something off of that one, and James, way out in front of it, pulled it into the Yankee dugout.
He has kept that kind of composure throughout this entire season. And he's always intense.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball down and in. He did not go around, says Tim Welke down to third, and the count is even at 2-2. The pitch before, off speed, and then the fastball.
The game that wouldn't end. And the Red Sox think James went. Tim Welke said no, he didn't. games like this, and we see the facial expression, this is why I think the big check should go to the teams that win the division. You know, the big cash you get for winning the World Series, but the toughest thing in this game is to win a division over 162 games. That's why the wild card scene I don't care for. You can get hot in postseason play, but you got to grind it out like these guys are doing today for 162 to win a division. That should be the big check, and the World Series ought to just be a ring.
Scoreboard tells the story. 2 on, 2 out for the Yankees. Bottom of the 9th inning, 2-2 count on Deion James, and that's Greg Harris. Ball 3. And now the runners will get a jump with the pitch. Gerald Williams at second, Wade Boggs at first.
Get a big lead, says Buck Showalter.
There they go. Fouled at the plate, and we'll do it again.
You see that shot in your picture of Buck Showalter putting his hands apart. See, Boggs doesn't have good speed, but with the Red Sox infielders deep, he'd really like to see him get a much bigger lead. He is the winning run.
Red Sox outfield playing straight away for Deion James. Runners go. Holes off and the bases are loaded. And guess who's coming up?
Unbelievable. The game that ended 12 minutes ago is still not over. How do you explain that? And again, another close 3-2 pitch, but this well off the plate. And a good at-bat by Deion James. There have been some terrific at-bats today by veteran hitters. Full counts, taking walks.
Don Mattingly has had 24 go-ahead RBIs for the Yankees. He leads the team in that category, but none over the last 22 games. And now a pinch runner for Wade Boggs. That'll be Andy Stankiewicz.
Running for Boggs, Andy Stankiewicz.
That's Gerald Williams at third. He is the tying run. Andy Stankiewicz represents the winning run at second. And there's a call, strike one to Mattingly. Mattingly, a fly to left, a grounder to short, a soft liner to short, and a foul out to first. This is his first time facing Greg Harris tonight. Yankees in danger of falling 4 back of Toronto if they lose. That's outside, 1-1.
Thinking back, they always say you'll see something different in this game if you stick around long enough. I've seen balls get loose in the bullpen in time called. I don't think I've ever seen a game ended and then restarted because of a fan going on the field. This is a first for me.
Base hit right field. Tying run in. Here's the throw to the plate. Do you believe this? The Yankees have won it. With the base hit to right field. Bob Zupsik came up throwing. But Andy Stankiewicz had a full head of steam coming around third.
With a dugout full of teammates to meet him, have you ever seen such joy on the faces of a team that lost the game? Hard to explain to the Red Sox fans and their players.
And to move on. Our Chevrolet player of the game, understandably, is Don Mattingly of the New York Yankees, and Chevrolet will donate $1,000 on his behalf to the Special Olympics. Life is not always fair. Sometimes it's a little weird. For Jim Kaat, I'm Greg Gumbel saying so long from Yankee Stadium. Our final score, the Yankees 4 and the Red Sox 3. CBS Sports coverage of Major League Baseball continues next Saturday with the Atlanta Braves in Philadelphia to play the Phillies and the Texas Rangers traveling to Chicago to face the White Sox. Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS kicks off week 3 with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern, and then some great matchups coming your way.
CBS Sports presents Major League Baseball. Today's game is brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Charles Schwab and Company, helping investors help themselves. And by MCI, the company that brings you Proof Positive.
Maybe the strangest one of the year. You've been watching Major League Baseball on CBS Sports, home of the biggest games in baseball. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everyone, from Yankee Stadium.